There's no doubt that Avengers Endgame is the biggest film of all time, all things considered, but not just when it comes to, like a box office and how big the reviews are considering it's a comic book movie or anything like that, and how much just the world has accepted it as pop culture. Also now, it's the most talked about film of all time. So certainly Twitter is a good indicator of a small percentage of people that talk about films. But we're going to be talking about the fact that Avengers Endgame has done something a lot of people never saw coming. It's not just part of Twitter's most talked about films of all time, it's actually becoming the highest and biggest talked about film of all time on every outlet. We're talking about Facebook, all your social medias combined. It's absolutely dwarfing whatever was previously held, to the point that it's become the biggest pop culture thing of all time. Like, we're talking about Twitter blowing away the previous one by huge margins, and this is kind of something that's very important when you think about how Marvel Studios built this film and what they built up to and what they were doing and the marketing tactic and how much need and demand there was for it. Going into this film, there was a lot of people that were uncertain whether the 3 hours were going to be enough, less show times than normal, but then theaters accommodated by opening more show times just to meet demand. You look at the marketing tactic, which was, hey, you don't know anything. We're not even going to tell you the story or beats or anything. We're going to focus on, the first 15 minutes, legit, and that's what they did. It was very uncertain, but that got people's hype going to the point that it was the most talked about film before it ever came out. After it came out, it just dwarfed those numbers, and they're not slowing down. And realistically, you have to understand that this is the product of hype that's been built on since 2008. 11 plus years now, we're into this, and naturally, they built it up to this giant conclusion where it's really not shocking. And honestly, it's not going to be shocking if nobody meets this type of number again, because just of how influential and how huge this film is. It's honestly unbelievable.